This is homework for Thursday, 11/20/14, and you've already had the two goals of being able to graph an inequality when I gave you that inequality, and to do the vice versa, to, if I gave you an inequality, to graph that, to write down what inequality that was. So now we're going to step it up a little bit, and you have to solve this inequality and graph it. When you solve an inequality, you're doing the same thing as when you solve an equation. You're trying to find out what x is. So I suspect this will be super, super easy for you. So the first thing is, please write down the inequality. 2x is less than 15 on your paper. And please also copy down the number line. And I'm going to wait for about 30 minutes for you to do that. Okay, so we want to get x by itself, and 2x means 2 times x. The opposite of multiplying is to divide by 2. And so we're dividing by 2 here, and we're dividing by 2 here. When we do that, over here, 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 1 times x is x. And over here, 2 divided by 15 is 7.5. And so our answer is the inequality x is less than 7.5. Okay, so remember that when you put an inequality on the number line, you're going to have 3 things on that number line. First, in the middle, you're going to have the 7.5, your answer. And then you need to have 1 more and 1 less. Now, 1 more doesn't mean that you always have to add 7.5 plus 1 equals 8.5. You could count by ones and add 1 to 7.5, or you could also just count by 0.5s in this case. And so 7.5 plus 0.5 is 8. So this would work either way. So I can make this an 8 and make this a 7. But I also want you to understand that it would have been okay if you made this an 8.5 and this over here a 6.5 then. Okay, as long as you're counting consistently. So my number line counts consistently by 0.5. This is just like when you're doing the x or the y axis. It's a number line, so you have to count consistently, whatever you decide to count by. Okay, so now this is telling me that x, the pointy part says less than, is 7.5. So I don't need to fill in this circle. I just need to circle it. And the numbers that are less than 7.5 are to the left. Okay, number 2. Okay, first thing is copy down x minus 3 is greater than 4. And copy down your number line. Now this time I'd like you to pause this and do the whole thing. You know how to get the x by itself in this situation. So go ahead and pause this and then start it again when you're done. Alright, to get the x by itself, I have to add 3 to both sides. Okay, that's going to give me 7. And I bring down my inequality sign. And negative 3 and positive 3 is nothing, so all I have left over this side is x. Okay, now I read this as x, open part, x is greater than 7. So on my number line, I need 3 numbers. I'm going to have 7 in the middle, and then 8, and then 1 less, 6. Okay, I don't fill the circle in, and the numbers that are more than 7 are to the right. Okay, again, copy this down and press pause when you have your number line and the problem solved. So do the whole thing and then start again. Okay, here we go. Subtract 2 here, subtract 2 here. I'm trying to get the x by itself. Bring down that x because this is nothing, so now I have x by itself. Bring down the inequality sign, greater than or equal to, and 8 minus 2 equals 6. Okay, 6, 1 more 7, 1 less 5. Okay, this reads x, excuse me, is greater than or equal to 6. The numbers that are greater than or equal to 6 are to the right, and this time, because it does have an equal to sign under there, I do shade in 6 because it's part of the solutions. Number 4, copy it, solve it, and then press start again. So press pause now. Okay, hopefully you remembered that this is the same thing. When you see an x here, you can put a 1 in there. And now you're going to need the reciprocal here. Remember that the reciprocal of 1/2 is 2 over 1, and you're going to multiply on both sides by the reciprocal. So I'm going to take this side and multiply by 2 over 1, which means I also need to do that over here. Now on this side, I'm not going to write 2 over 1, because 2 over 1 is really 2 divided by 1. Well, what is 2 divided by 1? It's 2. So writing this as 2 makes more sense than 2 over 1 because it's easy to do 2 times 12. Okay, so here we go. We have 2 times 1 is 2, and 1 times 2 is 2, and that's going to look like 2 over 2 times x. Well, what is 2 divided by 2? 1. And what is 1 times x? It's x. So remember that whenever I multiply a fraction times its reciprocal, I always get the same thing, which is 1, and 1 times x is just x. Okay, bring down your inequality sign. And over here, 12 times 2 is 24. Okay, you should know now that this goes right here. 24, 25, and 23. Okay? Now, x is less than or equal to 24. All the numbers that are less than 24 are to the left. And so I fill this in. I filled it in because of this. And I'm shading to the left. Number 5, copy it down, stop the recording, and start it again when you've done it. Okay, this time to get x by itself, I have to divide by 6 on both sides. That's going to give me x is greater than or equal to 24 divided by 6 is 4. Okay, 4, 5, 3. This says greater than because it's the open part. The numbers that are greater than 4 are here. Because it has the equal to, I fill this in. Number 6, copy it, shut off the video, and don't start it again until you're done. Okay, so if we slip a 1 in here, the reciprocal of 1/12 is 12 over 1, and we're going to multiply on both sides by 12 over 1. Everything you learned in solving equations applies directly and 100% to solving inequalities. It's kind of nice. It's not like it's something brand new. Okay, if you multiply any fraction times its reciprocal, you always get 1, and 1 times x is x. And 48 times 12, and Mrs. Steffen's going to have to do that off to the side because she does not have her calculator, whoopsies, with her, and she does not know what 48 times 12 is in her head. 2 times 8 is 16. 8 plus 1 is 9. 4 times 2 is 8. 4. Hi, honey. We're going to bring down our 6 here. 9 and 8 is 17. 478. Sure hope that's right. Okay, so 478 and 479 and 477. And the numbers that are less than or equal to are facing this way. Number 7. Again, I want you to go ahead and shut the video off, do the problem, and turn it back on. Okay, add 20 here, add 20 here. This is 120. Bring your sign down, X. 120. I'm going to bring this up for a minute. It's so close to the bottom, a little hard to do. Okay, so 120, 121, 119. This says greater than. Numbers that are greater than 120 are to the right. I don't fill it in because it doesn't have an equal to sign. Last problem. Again, shut the video off, do the problem, turn it back on to check yourself when you're done. Okay, so what is the reciprocal of 1/7? It is 7 over 1, so we multiply by 7 on both sides. Here we have any fraction times its reciprocal is 1, and 1 times x is x. And 7 times 14. 4 times 7 is 28. 7, 8, 9, 98. Whoops. I'm going to bring this number line up a little. It's too close to the bottom of my screen. So then we have 98, 99, and 97. X is less than or equal to, shading to the left. Okay, done.